Guys, welcome to the Western Journal. Today we're going to be speaking about India's hypocrisy when it comes to the Kashmir issue. Firstly, I'd like to point out this YouTube comment made by an overpowered Indian who is sympathetic towards the Tibetan independence cause, yet can't seem to find the irony in the fact that an Indian, of all people, supports anyone's independence while keeping historic independent nations like Kashmir and the Sikh Khalistan, as well as the Northeast, under Indian rule, citing Indian text as the reason why these historically independent regions belong to India. I'm going to read out the comment to you guys, and then do an analysis of this comment. And I quote, "As an Indian, I never support the claim of China over Tibet. The majority of Indians consider Tibet as an independent nation, which is occupied by China, and the Chinese Communist Party is forcefully converting Tibet into a Chinese province. They don't allow Tibetans to practice their religion, to speak their native language, and protest against China. Love to Tibet." End quote. As you guys can see, this Indian doesn't see how ironic it is that an Indian, of all people, is calling out China's so-called occupation of their Tibet province. However, the irony isn't lost on me. India is an artificial country, in the words of Sir Winston Churchill, and I quote, "India is a geographical term. It is no more a country than the equator." End quote. As you guys may know from history class, Winston Churchill is the former Prime Minister of the UK, India's former colonizer, as well as the people who unified India into a singular nation. Let's first break down Winston Churchill's quote. As you guys may know, India is a term used globally for people the Europeans encountered on their voyages. Think Native Indian in North America, Amerindian in South America, the West Indies in the Caribbean, the Dutch East Indies and Indonesia, as well as many more examples. So-called historic or ancient India has nothing to do with the modern state of India, as the Harappan civilization was discovered by the British in modern-day Pakistan, where ironically enough, the actual Indus River flows. India's main river, however, is their filthy Ganges, as you guys can see from Sir Winston Churchill's quote, as well as the evidence I've provided. India is an artificial country and a relic of the British Empire. Indians should be thanking the British for liberating them from Muslim rule at the expense of modern-day Pakistan and Afghanistan. In 1947, when India gained its independence and Pakistan reverted back into its pre-colonial state, many nations wanted independence from India. Over 500 princely states were forcefully occupied by the British Armed Indian Army. As you guys may know, the British had just fought World War II, so the British Armed Indian Army had significant military equipment left to them by the British. Many small princely states did not stand a chance and were forcefully occupied. This includes the Muslim-ruled, Hindu-majority Hyderabad state. When it comes to Kashmir, the Hindu ruler made a decision for the Muslim majority to join India. However, India, a nation that always badmouths the British, hypocritically upholds this decision rather than let the Kashmiri public decide their destiny. The same can be said about Khalistan. Before the Anglo-Sikh War, Punjab and the Sikh Empire was its own country. Forcefully merged into India by the British and not given their proper independence has been a big miscarriage of justice over the past 80 years. Sikhs abroad, who are not fearful of the Indian government's retaliation, hold non-binding referendums to show support for the independent cause of Khalistan. Indians use this to gaslight Sikhs, claiming that Sikhs within India do not want independence. However, Sikhs within India simply are not showing their wanting to be independent because they see what India has done to Kashmir, as well as the 1984 genocide of Sikhs. Apart from these two regions, there are a dozen regions within India that I could talk about, such as the illegal annexation of Goa, the taxation theft of South India, and the military rule in the Northeast. However, these two major arguments drive my point home. Finally, let's compare Tibet to Indian-occupied regions. Tibet has significantly developed under Chinese rule, with Chinese tax dollars from the East paying for significant infrastructure development in the Tibetan Plateau. Meanwhile, rich areas of India like the Punjab, South India, as well as Kashmir, are being occupied and neglected, and their resources rot in the name of unity by North India. Before Indians speak on any international issue, I highly suggest they focus on themselves. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been a report from the Western Journal.